Well, the 2026 campaign season has begun. Democrats, of course, don't care about any issue, any person. They care about maintaining power. And all they're looking for is any story that sticks. Because remember, as we were reporting over the last 6 months, they have nothing to run on. So all they can do is grab every titillating news story and try and blast it in your face and keep Trump from underlining his successes. Here's Hegseth clarifying Venezuelan druggie strike, sinking them to the bottom of the ocean in today's Trump White House meeting with his full staff. Oh, and welcome to Doug in Exile.
As I've said, I'll say again, we've only just begun striking narco boats and putting narco-terrorists at the bottom of the ocean because they've been poisoning the American people. And Joe Biden tried to approach it with kid gloves and allow them to come across the border. Cartels take over community, 20 million people, hundreds of thousands of Americans poisoned. And President Trump said, no, we're taking the gloves off. We're taking the fight to these designated terror organizations. Good. And it's exactly what we're doing. So we're stopping the drugs, we're striking the boats, we're defeating narco-terrorists, and we're standing.
And you may say one thing, that drugs coming in through the sea by sea are down 91%. And I don't know who the 9% is.
I'm not sure either, sir.
But down 91% by sea.
We've had a bit of a pause because it's hard to find boats to strike right now, which is the entire point, right? Deterrence has to matter, not arrest and hand over and then do it again, the rinse and repeat approach of previous administrations. This is meant to get after that approach. And I will just end by saying, as President Trump always has our back, we always have the back of our commanders who are making decisions in difficult situations, and we do in this case and all these strikes. They're making judgment calls and ensuring that they defend the American people. They've done the right things. We'll keep doing that, and we have their backs, Mr. President.
Good job. Thank you.
Thank you. You're going to jail if the Democrats win. So are all of your commanders. Democrats are running on prosecuting these people. Hegseth will be charged and be thrown in jail, guys. That's why we're going to get into voting down ticket and getting us all used to voting in 2026 more locally. Now, that whole thing that you just heard from Trump and Hegseth is marketing the positive case for what they're doing. Just positive case, no fake news. And so can the Democrats distract Republicans by saying this is a foreign war or this is some Jewish conspiracy? Well, here's Murkowski. They found one.
I think what we have heard shocked us all. And I think most would say that when you have two individuals that are literally floating in the water, a second order to kill them all is not something that we would consider within the rules of war.
Why is she shocked at killing narco-terrorists? Look at that face, bug-eyed freak. By the way, they are terrorists. She's more shocked that we're killing two terrorists floating in the water than that 150,000 Americans a year are dying of fentanyl overdoses. That's the problem. This is a marketing problem for Republicans. Here's Tim Burchett with a wake-up call. Commies are here. That Tennessee right now in Franklin, vote if you haven't yet. This shouldn't even be a close race with that Antichrist chick off in Ben versus the great Matt Van Epps, who I believe is going to win, but it shouldn't even be close because we have homegrown socialist communists being made here in America.
No, sir, it shouldn't, except it's a special election. You've got weather coming into Tennessee, and we get a half inch of snow, and it's shut the schools and raid the stores of milk and bread. And President Trump is exactly right. This is an indicator. Look, this lady was educated in Knoxville, Tennessee, my hometown. We need to wake up at what's going on. It's not these
That's
people.
often Ben, who hates Christians and hates country music, who has a fighting chance at winning here in Tennessee. Raised here, homegrown, terrorist, witch, socialist, Democrat. baby killer, pro-LGBTQ, pro-transing the children. Right here in good old Tennessee. For all you Californians going, I'm going to move to Tennessee because I need something more conservative. You're wrong, guys. The war is everywhere. Minnesota, we're watching the corruption. Michigan.
People moving in from California or New York or Chicago even. It's our own homegrown Marxists that we're bringing up. We've got to start paying attention to our base and what the heck's going on. And Matt is one of the best candidates I've ever seen. And you're correct. It does go from north to south in Tennessee. I've been in over 50 counties in the last year, and I've been all over his district. I've been back 3 different times to help him. Look, he is an exceptional candidate, but President Reagan said it best. He said, we're one generation from losing the republic. Brother, we're 1 vote series away from losing the republic. We lose 3 votes. You know, we've already got people leaving, talking of others leaving.
Marjorie Taylor Greene quitting.
This is the proverbial canary in the cave. If Matt Van Epps, a qualified candidate, a district that Trump won by over 15 points, can't carry this thing, we're in trouble. Republicans are asleep at the switch. We pay attention to presidents because President Trump is a great president. We should be paying attention to him. But when it gets down to the other races, we forget about it. We forget Congress. We forget the U.S. Senate. We forget our school boards, our mayors. And then we scratch our heads and wonder, why are our taxes so high? Why are these crazy policies? It's because our own homegrown Marxists are sticking it to us, and we don't have the guts and the gumption to get out of bed and go vote. 45% of evangelical Christians, and I consider myself in that crowd, 30% of the gun owners are not even going to go to the polls.
That's to the Second Amendment people who don't vote. You're fake and you're liars. That's to the evangelicals, about 40%, probably 50% that don't vote. You're fake Christians. You don't care about policies that destroy the neighbor next to you. We got to get out and vote, guys. In local elections, every time it comes up, call your Republican representatives, call your local Republican Party, say, I need a ballot.
This is what happens when 12% of the population votes.
And it's always the 12% of the population that votes. That's what almost all of our elections are run by, 12%. And they're the most radical people on the right and on the left, the most extreme. We're the most exaggerated. We're the most excited. So if Republicans are too comfortable and we don't get excited, the Democrats are plenty excited about imprisoning Trump and destroying this country. They're plenty excited about putting hormones in your underage kids and taking away your authority of them. They're plenty excited about killing the unborn, especially minority female unborn. They love killing them the most. They're plenty excited. Are you excited about being a patriot, about one nation under God, about the positive case for America? See, the positive case for America, some people just, maybe you're too bored about loving the country. Democrats are not bored with hating the country. At the very least, despising the Democrats and burying their face in the dog pile, in the poo-poo, pushing their head down in the poo-poo and mocking them as they lose. That ought to at least excite some of you, if merely being a patriot isn't enough.
It's what we get. Matt Van Epps should not even be a race. This lady is a Marxist, and she's not even a friendly Marxist like AOC.
Yeah.
She's not even a friendly Marxist like AOC, he said. She's a unfriendly, mean Marxist. You know, it's bad when Tim Burchett says she's not even as bad as AOC in New York, that in Tennessee, we have this blonde female antichrist. And it's close. Now, here's a not nice, not blonde female antichrist with Jasmine Crockett ripping on what's telling Kash Patel she wants him to go bye-bye. She agrees with some of the conspiracy theory on the right and in MAGA that we're trying to straighten out.
But when I say that you are the least qualified FBI director in the history of the FBI, that is real, because you are the only one that never even served with the FBI prior to joining, yet we are supposed to believe that you are the greatest thing since sliced bread. I didn't ask you a question. Now, what I want to go through is to talk about why you are a failure and why, honestly, we just need to tell you bye-bye.
Okay, she's ready to get rid of Kash Patel. I've seen that in the chat below. I just want to tell the chat below that say that they're probably a bot or they're being programmed to agree with Jasmine Crockett. If that doesn't bring you pause, that throwing flack at Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, and Dan Bongino, and Pete Hegseth, that you're on the Jasmine Crockett side of the aisle. Here's Trump Who here wants to eliminate paying income taxes? Let me know in the chat below. Here's Trump on the subject.
And I believe that at some point in the not too distant future, you won't even have income tax to pay.
Yes.
Because the money we're taking in is so great, it's so enormous, that you're not going to have income tax to pay. Whether you get rid of it or just keep it around for fun or have it really low, much lower than it is now, but you won't be paying income tax. We've slashed $1 trillion.
Yes, you know who's against that plan? Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do you want to pay down the debt? I'd rather eliminate income taxes. Well, that's just a summary of the news, guys. We got more shows coming up tomorrow. We're going to wrap this up with a huge thank you to my audience that I do not deserve. I'm trying to build a community here of people that are focused on just the truth, just the most important stuff that we need to know about to save this country for the next generation. It happens in 2026, guys, in your local elections. We'll keep you posted. If you keep watching, join our memberships. We have over 200 members, but just mostly a huge thank you just for watching today. It warms my heart. This is the funnest job I've ever had. I'm Doug in Exile.